Okay, hi. Welcome to Two Blurred Girls. I am Tamika. Tamara will not be joining us tonight because she isn't feeling so well. So we send her our best wishes, and she will join us next week where we'll have an exciting Halloween show. So that's going to be great. Um, John from Movie Lovers Unite will be joining us momentarily. So he's going to come later on, but right now you have me. And we are going to go through Squid Games. Yay, Squid Games. So we're going to go through Squid Games, a review of episode 1 through 3. And I have to tell you, my initial impression. Let's see. I wasn't sure what to expect from this game, or from this series. I should say I wasn't like I've heard about it, and I saw the memes on Facebook, in particular the robot girl, and I've seen so many memes, so many videos, and I was like, "What is this all about?" And I did not know that this was going to be a cult phenomenon as it is now. But let's get into the review. This series is basically about a 47-year-old divorced man named Song Guing. I'm messing up all the Korean names, so pardon me. But his name is Song, and let's see, he lives with his mom. So he's 47, divorced, lives with his mom, has gambling problems. Um, he tries to get one last hit, basically. So, his mom gives him money to use to get a gift for his daughter. So he's trying to see his daughter, and she gives him this gift out of faith. Like, you use this money to get a gift for your daughter. So, what does he do with the money? He uses it to gamble. Oh, and he takes his mom's credit card and tries to get money from her account. So, our introduction of Song is not very good. So anyway, he goes to the racetracks, and while he's in the racetrack, he bets on a horse and loses, and he bets again and he happens to win. Yay! So he wins this time, and he's outside of the what do you call it, the racetrack, and he's talking to his daughter, and he's excited, right? He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you the best gift possible. You can order anything you want. I'm gonna see you later on, and this is great." So he's in this happy state. But soon we find out that there are loan sharks after him to collect the debt. So they're chasing him around the racetrack station. And all of a sudden, he bumps into this woman. Not sure what the connection is at first, but he bumps into her. She spills her coffee. He's like, "I'm so sorry, ma'am." And he just keeps running. So the loan sharks chase him in the bathroom, and that's the next scene. They chase him in the bathroom, and it is kind of a disturbing intimidation tactic that they use on Song, uh, because not only do they punch him in the face, one of the guys takes his blood that's dripping from his nose and he licks it. And I don't understand why, but he said it tastes good. And when you think about it, you're like, is this gonna be a vampire freaky true blood story? No, it's not. There just happened to be this one freaky guy as part of his intimidation tactics. So he he tells Song, you owe us money. Give us the money. Song says, I don't have the money, which he looks to see and he finds out he doesn't have it, and then he recalls the woman he bumped into, and apparently she pickpocketed him while he was running into her. So he tells them, I don't have the money. I can get it to you. And they tell him, you have a month to get us the money. So when that happens, they pull out this contract, I would say. And I don't know why, but the guy punches him in the nose, punches Song in the nose again. And he tells him, use that blood as signature for this contract, which is very disturbing, right? So literally, Song uses this his blood to sign the contract for the loan sharks to tell them he will pay them in a month the money that he owes. So, because I wrote notes here. Um, so after that, I believe um, he goes to the bank teller. Right. Yeah, he goes to the bank teller and he tells the well, not bank teller, whatever she is in the um what am I trying to say? The racing, like horse racing betting station, whatever she is that collects the money. He goes back to her and he says, hey, the money I gave you from my extra winnings, can I have that back? So he uses the little money that he got back from the teller lady and he tries to win a prize from a vending machine for his daughter because he can't show up empty handed without having something for his daughter since it's her birthday. And he, like I said, he lost all his winnings and his money. So he tries to win a gift for her in this vending machine. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like the one that has the claw, right? And you try to use that claw to pick up a prize. So that's the vending machine type that he's using. Um, which I could never win any prize out those damn things. And I know they're rigged, but somehow this kid found a way to beat the system and he teaches Song how to get a prize. So Song gets a prize. He doesn't know what it is because it's in a box. So he gets a prize and he goes to his daughter, and all he can afford is like junk food for her, right? Like some kind of street food. And they're talking, and he's saying, hey, I got you a gift. You're going to love it. She opens it. It's a gun. And she's like, thanks, Dad. And I think the girl is what, like 7? And then she press on the trigger and it's a lighter. And he's like, oh, every girl needs to be protected, right? And you never know. But just in case, I'll hold this gun lighter until you're older. Yeah, good job, Song. So he's just basically explaining to her, I'm sorry, I can't do much for you right now. My finances aren't that great, but I promise you I'll do better, etc. His daughter, who is 7, she's trying to be as understanding as she can, but also we see the conflict, right? Because she mentions, oh, my stepdad took us to like a steakhouse. So apparently her mom's new husband has more money than her dad. So we start to see that little conflict brew in the middle of all this. But, he returns her to her mom. The mom's pissed. You guys are 10 minutes late. And he's like, it's okay. It's her birthday. We just hung out. Anyway, um, he goes to the train station because he's trying to head back home. He goes to the train station and he misses his train, which I have had that happen to me plenty of times. And it is morally defeating to miss your train. Uh, but anyway, he missed his train and he's sitting on a bench and he's trying to wait for the next train. And as he's waiting for the next train, a guy just happens to come out of nowhere in a business suit. And I don't really know the guy's name, or I forgot the guy's name, but I'm just going to call him the salesman. So the salesman comes and he says, "Hey, do you want to play a game?" Now, if somebody comes to you in the train station and they're sitting next to you on a bench and they say, "Hey, do you want to play a game?" I hope you will run and not be like Song and say, "Excuse me, what?" So he tells him, "Yeah, do you want to play a game?" And it's some type of childhood game. I think it's in Korea. But he asked him, "Do you want to play this game with me? And you can win $100,000 won," which I looked up, and I think that's $84 or $85, 85 US dollars. So he's like, "If you win, you get this money, and if I win, you owe me $100,000 won." So what did Song do? He said, "Sure, I'll play with you, stranger." So whatever this game is, um, it's like they have to flip over these little pocket envelopes. So Song envelope was blue and the salesman envelope was red. So one person has an envelope on the ground and the other throws it on the ground and tries to flip it over. So there's something heavy in it, reason that it can flip over. So um Song loses terribly, and the guy's like, "Oh, okay, it's time for you to pay up." The Song says, "Well, I don't have any money." The salesman strangely says, "Oh, well, you can pay with your body," which, yeah, I know that's it's borderline prostitution, but and he's like, "Excuse me," and all of a sudden he gets slapped. So the salesman slapped Song, and I guess that's his payment to pay with his body. So every time Song loses at this game, the salesman slaps him. I don't know how many times he was slapped, but it had to be about 10 times that he was just slapped in the face. And on the 11th time, he won. Song has won. And he turns around and said, "Okay, it's my turn to slap you now." So the salesman says, "Wait, no, here's your money. You want it fair and square." So he gives the money to Song, and Song is caught up in the moment, as we say. Just, "Oh my goodness, I won $100,000 won," which is $84, as I said. So he's happy, and the guy gives him a card, and he says, "You can play an even better game and win even more money. And you just call this number if you want to play." So Song is telling him, "Look, this was fun, but I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not going to play any more of your games." And the salesman reads him to filth. And he says, "Your name is Song Yong," which I butcher his last name. It's like, "You're 47, you're divorced, you live with your mom, you gamble, you do this, you do XYZ. You cannot afford not to play this game that I'm offering you." So of course Song is shocked, like, how does this guy know all my information? And he hands him the card and he says, "Play this game and you can pay off all your debts." And the salesman leaves. So I kept thinking to myself, because I have some debts, as we all do. Somebody comes up to you and they give you this card after you played this mini game, even if you do play the game. Somebody comes up to you and they gives you this card and they say, "Hey, you can win even more money if you play this game. So call this number and participate." Would you do that? Would you, the viewers and the listeners who are going to listen to this later on, would you accept an invitation to play a game you know nothing about, but you have a chance to win big money? I don't know. I guess every day we gamble with the lottery, right? So maybe we would play. I mean, we're putting money into the lottery. We don't know if we're going to win the lottery, but we invest in it. And some people invest 20, 30, 40, $100 or more playing Powerball and all these games, cash for, scratch off, the big lottery, and you're given this chance to win 5 billion or so dollars. So I guess we're all gullible enough to take this man's invitation to play this game. So I guess you can't really blame Song. If you play the lottery, it seems like the same concept to me in a nutshell. But getting back to the review, um, so flipping over my notes and flipping over my notes some more because I wrote a lot of notes because it's a long episode. Say that. So Song goes back home to his mom, and they're eating dinner, right? So his mom tells him, "Oh, your daughter is leaving for the U.S. soon, United States soon. Her stepdad got a new job, and if she goes to the United States, she's gonna forget how to be Korean, and she's gonna forget you. So you have to do something. Maybe you can go to the courts and ask for custody, but you have to prove that you're financially stable. Can you do that? Can you at least prove that you're financially stable to keep your daughter?" So, with that sense of desperation, Song realizes he still has the card from earlier, and that pretty much pushes him over the edge to participate in this game. And he's like, okay, sure. He called the number and he says, "Hello, I'm in." So he calls the number, right? The next night or whatever, he is standing, I guess he's told to stand at the corner of such and such. And then a white van comes, white van, of course. Nothing good happens with a white van. So a white van comes and the van asks him for a password. And he's like, uh, red light, green light. And that's his password. So he gets in the van. And once he's in the van, he sees all these other people and they look passed out, right? And he's like, "Oh, these people must be tired from riding all day." And all of a sudden, you see all this gas come out of nowhere. You see all this gas come out of nowhere. And it knocks Song out as well. So there he goes. He's out. And once he wakes up, he's in this facility. And it looks like I don't mean to bring it down, but it has this aspect of a concentration camp type with all the metal bunk beds and wires and everything else. But yeah, he wakes up in this facility and he's seeing all these people. And he's like, "What is going on? What just happened? I thought I was in the van and I wake up and I'm in this facility. I don't know what happened. So anyway, um once he wakes up, we the viewers who are viewing all this, the camera pans to a control room. And in this control room there are workers in a sense, and they all have like this fuchsia hoodies on, and they're watching everybody wake up. So we pan back to Song, and Song is walking around and he's trying to figure out who all these people are because there's a lot of people and they have green jumpsuits on, and each green jumpsuit has a number on the lapel. So he encounters this old man, and he's like, the old man is counting, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" The old man's like, you made me miss my count." So he looks up at the board and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, it says there are 456 participants here, so you don't have to count." The old man, we find out more about him, and he says, "Well, the doctors say I have to count because I have dementia, and that helps prevent it." And then he talks to Song, and he's like, "Oh, and I also have a brain tumor, and they don't know if anything can be done to it." And we kind of find out that's the reason he's here, because he wants to win money, I guess, to get some kind of surgery for that, or he feels like there's nothing else left to lose. So I'll just be here playing this bizarre game for a chance to win money. So, so once he's talking to the old man, we see a fight. And this fight breaks out between the woman we saw at the race station that Song ran into. She's here, and she's fighting with a guy, and they're fighting about something that I forgot what they were fighting about, but he said something along the lines of, "Oh, you're from North Korea. How would you know?" So you have some of that tense element going on between South Korea and North Korea. So there's so many themes already that I can see, and this episode hasn't even ended yet. There's themes so far of poverty and desperation in Korea that we see going on here. We see the general theme of broken families, you know, with Song being divorced, and he's trying to change his financial situation so that he could see his daughter more. And there's a sense of pride. Like, I don't want my daughter to see me struggling financially. Um, but yeah, so far those are the themes I see throughout this episode, I should say. So, getting back into the review. So Psalm breaks up the fight, and he's like, "Hey, you're that pickpocketer. Where's my money?" So he's fighting, and there's all this infighting going on, and they're all fighting the woman, who we don't really know who she is yet, but she seems like a pretty badass person so far that I can tell. She has all these men riled up against her. Um, so suddenly the jumpsuit gang comes, as I call them. So they're coming, and they break up the fight, and they announce, "Hey, welcome to the games. You know, you're here. Each person is going to play 6 games, and for 6 days, and whoever wins, you win a lot of money." And then people start to question, and they're like, "Who are you? Why are you wearing these masks? Um, you kidnapped us on the false pretense," and all this other stuff. So one player in particular, he's like, "How can we trust you? Um, the police will come and they'll find out who you are anyway." And this player, he's player 218. So if you can't remember any of the names of these people, just remember their numbers if they live. So it's player 218. Um, so player 218 is Cho. So he's like the leader of this, one of the lead people of this jumpsuit gang is like, hey, your name is Cho. You're an investment banker. You embezzled millions from your clients. You did all these Ponzi schemes. And you lost, I think he said he lost 650 Wong, which I forgot to look up what that is. So just look up what 650 Wong, WON, is, like Korean dollars to US. So just look that up and you'll see how much he lost. So, and then the guy, the lead jumpsuit person, whatever he is, I don't know the ranks in this gang. He goes through almost everybody who's a participant and tells all their business. Like, your name is such and such. You lost this much money. You're in this much debt. And you're in this much debt. And you. And he's going through all these people's business in front of everybody. Can you imagine? Like, hey, like, let's say somebody comes to me and they're like, oh, you're Tamika. Oh, this is John. Like, hey, you're Tamika. You're in $700,000 worth of student loan debt. I'm not, by the way. I'm just using that as an example. And you're this and you're that. That is mortifying to have just anybody come and tell all your business like that in front of a group of strangers. So basically the leader is saying, um nobody has come on a false pretense, because we all introduced this game to you, which is that game I told you about with Song, that envelope game where he got smacked around in a train station. So he's like, you each were presented with this game. You each were given $100,000 won, which is 84 or $85. I gave you a card. It was your choice to call, so you wanted to be here. Nobody was kidnapped on the false pretense, as the guy stating. You all chose to be here because you heard that you can win money. So so somebody says, well, how much money are we going to win then? So all of a sudden, this gigantic piggy bank comes out the ceiling. It's all lit up. Nothing's in it. And he's like, each time a player plays, however many, then the piggy bank will fill up with a generous sum of money. So I don't know about you, but I need to see the money before I commit to anything. Show me the money, okay? But anyway, um, everybody decides, okay, well, I just take a chance. So they're presented with contracts, and each contract, it says a player who refuses to play will be eliminated. So you don't really know what eliminated means yet, but you're like, okay. So what did I say? 456 people signed this contract, not knowing exactly what it is, which is important to read contracts and clauses. Which, if anything you learned tonight, just read contracts and clauses before you sign anything. Don't be like these people, okay? Oh God. So they sign this contract. Basically, they're saying, okay, I agree to the rules of this game and I'm gonna play because I want some money. So with that being said, they they're escorted through this maze. It's a multicolored maze with steps, like each, like different levels of steps. So they're escorted through this maze, and they go through this photo booth and they take pictures. And this photo booth takes pictures of them. which I don't know why, strangely, it reminded me of the scene in Loki where he went through this process to determine if he had a soul. Not sure why, but that's what it reminded me of. So they each get their photo taken, and as the camera pans back, we're back in the control room, and we see that each other person's face is lit up on this screen with the number. So they're keeping track of who is number 218 with a face. So it kind of has a cabin in the woods feel to it, if you've seen that movie. I think in that movie it was all a game as well. And it was a control room. And these group of teenagers were monitored. And I don't it's complex, but it's a really good movie. So check out Cabin in the Woods. Anyway, back to Squid Games. Um, so the first game, oh gosh, okay. I didn't know what to expect, right? So the first game, they're ushered out into this vacant field. And all of a sudden they look and they see this giant robotic girl. And she oh gosh. I I need to show you guys this girl. I I don't know if you can see her or not, but anyway, she looks like a creepy China doll with a orange dress, white tights, and pigtails. So the the game is called Red Light, Green Light. And if you haven't played Red Light, Green Light, mostly it is one person. It's kind of like hide and go seek in a sense and tag. One person like closes their eyes, right? And they turn their back to the group and they say red light. And then they say green light. Green light means you move. And they pause and they allow you time to run because you're supposed to run, excuse me. You're supposed to run, right? And the object of the game is run to the finish line. So there's a line where the person that's counting it, and if you run past that line, you win the game. So the robot turns her head and she's like, green light. And everybody's kind of running. And then she turns and she's like, red light. And then she turns. Somebody kind of fidget and move. So outside of this, the way this game is played in this series, um, if you move, people say you're out, right? So you just kind of sit off to the side. No, not in Squid Games. In Squid Games, if you move, this robot will shoot you. And then more guns will come out the wall and shoot whoever moved. So she has motion sensors in her eyes. So she can tell if you move. Like if you're doing this, right? And then you do that, like, oh, you're dead. So I saw that and I was like, what the hell is going on? What am I watching? Oh, so it, the first person that got shot, of course, it's a shock for all the other participants. And they're like, huh? Oh, okay. And then she turns around again. She's like, green light. People are running. And then she's like, red light. And they're like, it's like, dude, get up. You're just playing. No, the more this happened, the more people are getting shot. And majority of the people just run because they're fearful for their lives, as anybody would be. They all get shot. So that's half the people out the game anyway. The people that stayed in this game, they're following the rules and they pause. Whenever she says red light, you stop. Green light, you run. So you get the gist of the game. Um it was I have to tell you, I have never seen anything like this before in my life. A killer robot playing red light, green light with a group of participants, and she just shoots laser beams or whatever out her eyes. It is I cannot even fathom anything like that in my wildest imagination. Oh, anyway, um, Cho, Chu, the investment banker, he tells Song, whose Song is just frozen under a dead guy. He's like, "Hey, you're gonna have to play, because the only way we can survive this is if we get to that finish line." So he picks him up and he's like, "Hey man, let's go, let's do this. Just hide behind somebody." So as he hides behind, starts to hide behind people, um, it kind of helps, it's like a shield. So Cho makes it, wrapping up, Cho makes it to the finish line. Song is about to make it to the finish line, but he trips over a dead guy and he's falling. And she's about to turn her head to say red light. This guy comes out of nowhere, grabs him by his shirt collar, and he's paused when she turns around. And Song is frozen when he turns around. When she turns around, the robot. It is the most tense moment that you can ever think of. So she turns her head back around and she's like, green light, So Song makes it to the finish line along with the guy that saved him. And everybody else that did not make it to the finish line was shot down and killed. So you can just imagine how brutal that whole thing was. Everybody is just shot and killed. As you can see her a little bit, the background of her. But you can also look up Squid Games and you can see the robot. Very, very creepy. Oh gosh. This episode not even over with yet. And you would think, "Oh no, I'm traumatized already. This deadly game of red light, green light. And we got more? Oh my gosh, what is going to happen next to these people?" Goodness. So, oh, so Um, one thing I have to mention is the old man. So we were talking about the older man, right? So he's really the star of this show. So the older man, um, okay, so John's coming in a few minutes. So he's gonna appear to talk about this crazy Netflix series. So the old man is the star of this series so far because he's living his best life playing red light, green light. He's seeing people get shot left and right, and he's like, "Oh, goody, this is exciting, right?" Because he's freezing. He's like, red light. He's like, just frozen. Oh my goodness. But he won, so he's safe. But yeah, he was the only one that enjoyed this game. I don't know what that says about him, but he was living his best life that day. So good for him watching countless people die around him. Oh, so God, this this movie, this series is, I don't know. I I'm running out of words because I am so shocked by this series already. But anyway, the whole time you see a leader, the head leader, watching all of this red light, green light happen. And he is watching from the comfort of his room. And he's up there drinking cognac and playing jazz music while he's watching these people play red light, green light and die, which you can get deeper into, like classism, elitism. You can get deep into that, but we don't have time to go that deep. So just formulate your own thoughts about that. So oh, here's John. Oh, John.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I am
So, how
all
you doing?
goodness, man. I'm talking about this crazy series
Oh
and
yeah, Squid Game.
yeah, Squid Game, and I am on red light, green light, and I just finished explaining everything about that.
I love that episode, to be honest with
Really,
you.
tell us why you like red light, green light. Go.
Okay, so my question is this: Is
Mhm.
this your least favorite episode, or what was your favorite episode out of the three episodes that we're reviewing tonight?
Um, I would have to say this episode. I'm
Okay,
not sure why, and the robot, she's crazy. I don't know. I don't want to
yeah,
play red light, green light anymore.
no, it makes me horrified of green light, red light, green light. To
Yeah,
be honest
you
with you,
played the game before, right?
yeah, I played it. Who hasn't?
Yeah,
This is a
yeah,
childhood game, you
but you
know.
didn't die.
No, but we felt like it
Mm,
was
yeah,
because of the torture that we would put ourselves through as kids to try and get to the finish line. But yeah, but not on that caliber of wanting to die over it. but but okay, I said this on my channel and everything, and I'm
yeah.
gonna say this. At first, I didn't think this show was gonna be for me
Hmm.
personally, especially with the dialogue and everything else. And of course, I didn't do the reading the Korean thing; I did it in dubbed. So I don't know how you watched it or viewed it, but I did it in dubbed because I didn't feel like reading subtitles or anything like that.
Right, moving and
But
stuff.
it's cool. But I just feel like I was like, I told Charlie and everybody, I was like, I don't think this show was for me. Then as I'm going progressing through it and grinding it, I ended up loving it.
Yeah,
Um, especially the old man stood out for me and stuff
yeah,
like that until the
yep.
very end, of course. But the plot twist with that, but I like the back and forth between the main character and the old man. I thought that was really good,
Hmm.
and also too, it shows like humility in to the main character because yes, he's a degenerate gambler. Yes, that's what degenerates do. They gamble, they lose their money, they have their families against each other and stuff like that, and they also owe money to other powerful people and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's trying to do something to redeem himself, even though it's for money, and he knows that if he wins his money, he can provide for his daughter that's going to be going to the United States.
Yeah,
He's trying to do it for a noble reason in a sense. Yes, it's kind of to save his own ass though too at the same time. But you have to look at it in the context of the fact that he's a father who's trying to do the right thing. And Charlie was like, well, he was kind of a douchebag asshole because he winded up getting his daughter a gun for her birthday
yeah.
present.
The gun
But I
love.
said, but I said this to him though. I said, in all rationality though, yes, he was a ball bag for getting another kid to try and win his daughter a prize. But at the same time though, it was not his fault. He didn't know that there was a gun in that gift. He just thought it might have been something nice to give to his daughter.
Hmm.
And just with his luck, it was a gun, not a water pistol or anything like that, but it was actually a cigarette lighter in
Yeah,
shape of a gun.
yeah,
And I'm like, I just felt bad for the dude. He's trying to do something good, and it backfires on him. And then he wins the money at the horse race, and he loses it to the other gambler and everything. And then he winds up playing that game at the subway station. And he's like, "Well, you want to win more money? I know a way that you can do it." So, of course, that's when he gets sucked into Squid Game,
yeah.
and then that's when once I started playing the game 30
Hmm.
minutes in, I was instantly sold after that. And then
Oh,
and
okay.
and
Yeah.
I also felt like too that if you're watching it in dubbed, it feels like an animated movie. If
Yes, it does. It
because
does.
I told Frenchie, I said this feels like an animated kind of TV show. Because what do you mean it's an animated TV? I said because the sound effects of this piggy bank. Then also
Mhm.
too, when he's getting really excited about something, all I can think of is exclamation points coming out of his head
Yes.
and stuff like that. And so I felt like an animated type of TV show, but live action mixed in with a Squid Game, mixed in with these childhood games that we grew up on. So I was instantly hooked after the first episode with the remaining 30, 40 minutes into the show because that's when green light actually comes in. And, I'm like, what are they going to play? What's the context of this game? And what's the whole, okay, what's so threatening about red light, green light? Then all of a sudden you see, I'm like, this is the more advanced game of red light, green light that I do not want to play. This is the one that's gonna get you killed.
Man, yeah, like you said, I didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay, we're in a vacant lot or field. Okay, so what do we do? Then they show that giant robot, and I was like, okay, what is this? This is freaky. And they're saying, okay, red light, green light. If you move, you'll be terminated. And you don't know what terminated means. You're just thinking, oh, I'm just going to sit off on a bench somewhere because I'm out the game. No, you're
Right.
shot. You're
You're dead.
dead.
You're dead. There ain't no coming back.
The first person that died, I was like, oh my God, is he okay? No, he's not okay. He's dead, Tamika. Why did you ask that? I was like the guy that asked because the guy, his friend, was like, get up, stop playing. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's dead too. And then everybody's running and they dead. I was like, dang, is anybody left playing this game? How many people they shot? They shot, I don't know. It's like
And
half
everybody's
the
like,
people.
well, this is too many. Get this. And then I remember Charlie saying, oh, these are too many characters. No, there was too many characters. They
Yes, there
killed
was.
all those characters.
Yes, yes, yes. And I was talking about when the main character, I think his name is Song, that part where he tripped over that dead guy,
Oh yeah.
when she turned and she was about to turn and say red light, and the guy came and grabbed his shirt collar. Oh, that was so tense.
That, to be honest with you, Tamika, that was tense for me as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
And I like the fact I'm like, okay, so not everybody in this world is a douchebag. There are
yeah.
good moral people within this universe, which is Squid Game. And I'm actually glad that we have some redeeming qualities from certain characters. And this one character, I loved him all the way up until the very end because he was right there with them the whole entire time.
Hmm.
And then that one game is what screwed him over. And I don't know if you saw the whole entire series or not, so I'm not gonna go further with it.
I just saw episode 1 and 3,
Okay,
1 through 3.
so all I'm gonna say is some stuff winds up happening within close towards the end with that character
Oh
that
no.
makes you feel empathy for that character and care about that character, and the characterization of that character is just fantastic.
Okay,
But
good.
still, the old man. I should have known that there was actually going to be a plot twist at the end, to be
Oh
honest with you,
man.
especially the way the old man is just advancing in red light, green light.
Yeah.
Because he goes, well, I'm going to be dying of a tumor in my head, so I might as well go on ahead and let them go kill me and let them take me out rather than me. I'm not going to go on ahead and shoot myself. I'm going to let them do it before
Yeah.
me.
Man, did you see he was having, I was explaining, he was having the time of his life. I was like, people dying in front of him. He like, ha ha ha, ha ha.
The goofy look on his face.
Yes.
I love that goofiness on his face though. It is, and I have to agree with Tamara though. The
Yeah,
old man
Tamara
is cute as
joining us
hell
from
though.
the
I
sick
mean,
bed. Tamara, get well.
me, get well, Tamara.
Yeah,
But I just feel so much. The old man is just like the heart of Squid Game in that moment because
man.
of the fact that he's running through this thing, and then of course he winds up being the first one there,
Of course.
which is hilarious. And then
Everybody else is fearful for their lives, and this man is like, ha ha ha! I'm having the time of my life.
you know what else though reminds me of the animated thing though?
Oh, what? Besides the
When
old
the main
man?
character introduces his friend, he goes, "This is my friend. He's the smartest person. He went to college."
Oh yes,
That reminds me of so much My Hero Academia. It does not even. I'm serious. It reminds me of My Hero Academia a little bit. This is my friend. He went to college. He's smart. He's the smartest one I know. We need to stick with him.
yeah. This, like you said, this whole I was trying to see, was this an animated series
Mm-mm.
before?
No.
Well, it needs to be. It needs to be
Yeah,
just an animated series, and they continue on, or they just recreate this whole thing into an animated series. Because I would rewatch it.
I would definitely watch this in animated form. To be honest
Hmm.
with you, because you can do a lot more with animation than you can with live action.
Well,
But
they've done a lot so far.
right, they have killed over 200 characters in one episode.
You know,
But,
we just gotta weed it out. We just
right.
got one season. We gotta get rid of these people.
But also too, the way they get them in the van with the sleeping gas, which I never even expected that to
Hmm.
happen. It's kind of like Rune Raiders on MTV, but a Squid Game edition, where basically they kidnap you in the van, then they throw you in the van, and the next
Hmm.
thing you know, they put gas on you and make you go to sleep. And next thing you know, you woke up with these other group of people that you
Yes,
don't even have a clue who they are because
yes,
they also owe debt and money.
yes, yes. And I was saying before, when they woke up, it felt like a concentration camp. It had that concentration camp
But
vibe
this is
to it.
but here's the thing though, Tamika. With the concentration camps, they didn't have jogging suits. they didn't they didn't have
Maybe.
the little fancy slip-on shoes that we could easily cosplay for like $70 with Adidas.
They kind of
You know what I
had
mean?
some type of, they had something on similar to jumpsuits.
Right.
Jeez.
But it does feel like a concentration camp in a sense because of
Mhm.
the bunk beds, and then you have this other guy to be the alpha guy in the group. Can't stand him
That guy.
at all.
Yeah.
He was a total ball bag.
Are you talking about the investment banker?
No, there's this other douchebag
Oh, the one with the snake on his
that
face?
looked like a dick on his face. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Well, he
Oh,
did.
the fight. The fight with him and the girl. What were they fighting about? Do you remember?
Yeah. Okay. So the girl and him wind up having sex,
Ooh.
and they banged in the bathroom and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, the reason why he just did that just to get her, so on his side a little bit, and then once he got done using her, that was it. So therefore, it started a beef between the two of them.
Oh wow.
And then she winds up trying to be on other people's teams after that.
Oh dang. Okay. Dang.
So yeah, but I found her character a little annoying, to be honest. But
Mm.
that's just my opinion, though. But
I have to see the rest, and
right,
then I wasn't that. Oh, Tamara said,
yeah,
"Oh,
I believe that was the girl from North Korea, if I'm
North
not
Korea."
mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was highlighting that. He was like, well, "What do you know? You're from North Korea." And then you got that conflict of North and South going
Oh,
on. And then
right.
I paused a little bit and I talked about just the economic disparity going on
Mm-hmm.
already in the show. Like this whole, we're just on episode one, and you can see so many themes just out of nowhere. You see all this
Definitely.
economic downturn,
The
North
privity,
versus South Korea, everything.
right? The privity, debt,
Yeah.
uh, competing for money, so to help their
Yes.
families.
Yes.
Everybody has their own reasons of why they're there to play this game
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything. They have their own. Not everybody's in debt. Everybody wants to help their family. Some things are going with other families, so therefore they're out for themselves.
Yes.
So it makes it even more of a competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
Um,
second episode is
yes,
really good
definitely.
though too.
Yeah, the opening of the second episode is very disturbing. It is like a horror movie. You see these boxes and they're burning them. and then you find that they're the bodies of the people that didn't make red light, green light. They are being cremated
Right.
in gift boxes.
Just I'm like, okay, this that part to me was a little creepy in a sense,
Yes.
but also to just to give a little bit of context with the ending of this first episode,
Mm-hmm.
they they gave them a choice. They can keep playing the game
Mm-hmm.
or they can go home. The old man is basically teasing the whole thing. It's like, go home. He's taking his time and he
Oh, that's at
decides,
episode 2.
okay, I thought that was episode 1 for some reason.
Yeah, it's episode 2. Because
Okay,
episode 1, they like close. It's like a Truman Show ending.
that's true.
And then you
Okay,
see them on this island, and you're like, "What? How they supposed to escape that?" But yeah,
okay,
we're on episode 2. So yeah,
right.
like you said, they give them a choice.
Right. They give him after that cremation part. That's when we get into that part where it's like, well, if you guys want to choose to stay to play this game, this is after everybody's shot to hell and everything. And so they're like, we'll give you a choice. So then they vote at the end of, okay,
They did.
no, that's okay. She was agreeing with you that it happens at the very start of episode 2 whenever they were voting. So I got it backwards on that.
Oh well. Anyway, they vote.
Yeah, they voted. The old man votes. They wind up
Yeah.
going home. They get tossed out of the van, and then I like how they're all connected in some way in their own town without even realizing how close together they actually are.
Hmm.
And then I like when the old man is sitting there with them and he's opening up to the main character. Like I mentioned this in episode 1, but I like that though. I like the context with them. They have some common ground to where they can talk to each other on a father and son type of base or a grandfather type of base
Yeah.
formation. So that's
Yeah.
something that I really liked.
Yeah. Yeah. And as they go home, they're dumped out into reality. So I think Song went to the oh Tamara. Tamara said it's some brew that Tamara, I forgot what it's, I think it's some type of tea that Tamara
Yeah.
cooked, and she's like, it's knocking me out, so I'm finna go to bed now.
All right, Tamara. I
Tamara,
hope you
go to
get feeling
sleep
better.
and you rest.
Yes, you need a lot of rest. Have a good night, Tamara.
Yes,
I
thanks.
promise you we'll do you proud for this episode.
Yeah, we're trying, girl. We're trying. And then she gave us an emoji of I guess that's her zoinking out.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
What
But
was I saying? I forgot what I was
you were
saying.
talking about the second episode where,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, Song goes to the police station and he's like, I've been kidnapped. And he's like, okay. And he's like, they made me play red light, green light. He's like, what? They made you play what? They held me against my will and I played red light, green light. They're like, if you don't get out of here.
right. He's like, okay, sir, let me get this straight. They made you play red light, green light,
Yes.
and they held you against your will. Why
Yes.
did
They
they
did.
hold you against you for money? They were
For money.
making us play red light, green light for money, and therefore we had to stay. And if we wind up uh, losing, we would get shot.
Yeah.
And they gave us these cards here,
Hmm.
and that's what happened. You
Yes.
go, just call the card, and of
Yeah.
course he's looking at the symbols. It looks like a PlayStation card with the
It
symbols with the.
does, doesn't it? It makes me wonder, is a PlayStation behind this movie, this
It's a
series?
conspiracy, but
PlayStation equals Squid
the
Game.
game. But I like the comedy aspect of it, and also too of how they. I think that's the logic of Squid Game, though, is to make it disbelievable, like somebody would actually do it. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, see, now
and
you see her. See how
right,
creepy she is?
yeah, it kind of looks like we're censoring her boobs, though.
Well, we need to. She's a creepy woman.
Well, she does calm her tatas a little bit, so
Yeah,
that.
calm your tits. Jeez. Oh, but
So
yeah. Yeah. Stop shooting people and calm your tits.
Right.
But yeah, she yeah, the reality sets in episode 2 because they're all starting to see, oh, I'm in even greater debt. And I think Song's mom is in the hospital because she's diabetic. And then you have problems of I can't afford the insurance, so I can't afford to be in the hospital for long.
Yep.
And just all these things start to come down on everybody. They're like, oh crap, I'm in so much debt. The reality is hitting me. Oh, maybe I should go back to that game where I saw those people get massacred and I can win some money.
Right. And it's also blood money, though, if you think about it.
Yes,
It's
it
and
is.
it's like, well, I'm in debt. Those people are dead, and that's also money that I could use.
Yes.
So, and it's for a good cause because it will get help out with the bills. So I can see the logic, even though the logic is dark, but but still, it makes me. I feel bad for the main character's mom because she has a diabetic,
Yeah.
and because she's a diabetic, it breaks my heart to see her suffer like that.
Yeah.
And now he knows that he needs to go ahead and play the game regardless of how bad it is. And so even though he was getting ready to turn them into the cops, they still let him play the game. And
Yeah. And they all had the cars waiting. They like, you poor people will be back. Here's a card.
and of course, whenever they do call when the cops do call the number, it's some random person that happens to be a woman on the phone saying that they got the wrong number and stop calling their number.
See, they planned out everything.
Every single
Genius.
scenario.
Goodness. Man. Damn it. But yeah, they go back under. I like how they go in the van and he's like, oh, here we go. Or just get knocked out again.
Right, and also too, we also have the police captain who's actually looking for his brother
Hmm.
in this episode, and he also believes him because he found the same identical card that was in his brother's apartment. So therefore, now he's hitching a ride in the back of the van
Oh
with him.
yeah. Hmm.
So I like the aspect of a detective kind of suspense kind of flavor with Squid Game now. Now it's up to the detective to solve this crime
Yeah. It's the
of his
first
missing brother.
infiltration of the game.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because he gets in the van, and we get to see the process that everybody went through while they're knocked out. Like they drive the vans on a ferry, and then they do the onboarding process.
Yeah.
So
They're being processed.
it's, so they're being scanned, and I'm like, did they implant something in their necks or something? Because
I
they're
think
like
they
doing this
did.
scanning.
Yeah, I think they did because I think that's how they can identify each other and
Oh
stuff like
God.
that.
See, I knew
So
it.
I
So they
want to
implanted.
say yeah, but I haven't seen it since I binged it. So, my memory could be a little off here and there on
Yeah,
some things.
no, it's fine. Yeah, but like you said, the detective guy, he knocks out one of those. I don't know what to call these people. Workers, followers,
No,
cult followers. I don't know what they are. Squid game followers. I don't know.
these guards are
Yeah, guards, whatever. He knocks one of them out, and he dresses up like the guard.
right,
So we're like, oh, okay, good, excellent. Somebody's gonna take down this establishment.
right. And it makes me have a whole new outlook of suspense and wondering what's going to happen next with this cop angle. If they're going to
Yeah.
wind up figuring it out. And also, too, each shape of these guards represents a higher power of security
Hmm.
as
Yeah.
well. So the triangle doesn't really do anything. The circle is the one that is pretty much the one in charge, I believe, that
Yes.
has the higher power.
Yes. Goodness. Yeah. Yeah. And that's when they, no, is that it? When they go and he tells them about how much money they're going to make.
Yeah.
was at 200, no, 25.5 billion won, which I
Yeah,
forgot to look up how much that is.
I forgot, but that's a lot of money in that country.
I want to say maybe it's a million here,
I think
but
that's a million here, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
But I forgot how that's all converted. But yeah,
yeah. So, and we already talked about the voting. I think that happened in this season. No, not season, but this episode.
yeah, it happens in this
Uh-huh.
episode. Tamara talked about it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we're moving on to three. Yay, we're almost finished. So, yeah, three. Three is the one we're on now. And three is where the guy was infiltrating from the inside and the ferry
Right.
boat and everything else. So we're on three now. So we're almost finished. So, 187 came back out of 201. So
Right.
just
And
think
this is
about that.
right. And this is actually called The Man with the Umbrella.
Yes, the man with the umbrella. Yeah, and everybody's coming back. And I wrote in my notes, it felt like a family reunion. They're like, "Hey, it's you. How you doing? Oh my god, I haven't seen you since the last time. Hey."
Like they're at summer camp or something.
Yes, I just came back from summer camp. You look good. Oh, did you get a new haircut? Oh. Oh, hey, you remember that guy? Oh, wait, he died in the last game. Never mind. Awkward.
Right.
But that was
So
your
did this
friend,
other guy come
right?
back? No, he didn't come back.
Mm-mm, he doesn't come back. He died. Oh no.
But
And
yeah, it does feel like they came back from summer camp and they're greeting each other
yeah.
and now they're competing. But I liked how now they actually have to play this one game and they have to pick a certain shape for this one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, also there's a new strategy too because Song, the lead guy, he's like, "Oh, we can all be a team, and we can all try to figure out the games together. We can work
Right.
together." And then I wanted to point out something else. When it was mealtime, Song
Hmm.
got caught up in the meal. He's like, "Oh, I used to have this as a kid, da da da," and it was bringing out back all these nostalgic memories. And the investment banker, which I forgot his name, but he was like, "Hey, you need to focus. Okay, we need to figure out what game is next so we won't die. You need to get your head out these nostalgic meals and figure out what is next." And then they were like, "Okay, what did I play as a kid? Okay, we did red light, green light, tic tac
Hopscotch.
toe, hopscotch. Oh my god, oh geez." And then there's a Pakistani guy. I
Yeah, the
think
same
he's the
guy
only
that
one.
well, it's the same guy that saved him in the Squid Game
Yeah, and
that
he's
they have
like,
on
"I
his
don't
team.
know any of these games." They're like, "Dang, you're gonna die." He's like, "No, we'll help you."
Yeah, because he didn't know how to play hopscotch. He never
No,
played it.
no. And this second game, I think it was called Sugar Honeycomb.
It's called Honeycomb. Yeah.
Honeycomb. And what is that? Is that like a cookie?
Yeah, it's like the
How
same.
would
It
you
looks like the
describe
same kind
that?
of material that you would make fortune cookies out of. It looks like, or
Okay,
close to
and
it to
yeah, so the
me.
second game they're poured out into this playground type area. Think McDonald's playground, but larger. And they're
A
poured
little
out
bit
in
more
this
faker.
area. Yeah, a little bit more faker. And they're poured out in this area. It actually felt like a nursery because it had like the
It does.
clouds and everything on the wall. So they're poured out in this area, and they tell them, "Oh, stand by a shape." And there's these different shapes on the door, and you see the umbrella, and where you see a star, a circle, and some other shapes. And the investment banker, he had a memory of this game and how he played it. And he didn't even share the details. So he already is on my shit list.
Hmm.
Are you just gonna keep the details of how to win this game to yourself?
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
how I felt with the investment banker too, because he's supposed to be his friend, and he's
yeah.
not telling him jack crap about anything.
No. He's like, "Y'all gonna die. I need to look out for myself."
Right. And I've never been so paranoid about shapes in my life until I saw that game. Like For real, that game will actually make you paranoid for shapes. If you were a kindergartner, you would actually crap your pants
Yes,
because
you would. It's all about tracing. Because
yeah,
they give them these 10 containers, and like you said, it's like this fortune cookie type material, and it had the shape on it inside. So you basically had to trace and cut out the shape inside the this fortune cookie, this thin
this
cookie
cookie,
type material. And if it breaks, of course you get shot in the head. So no pressure, right?
no pressure at all. Anybody can do this,
Yeah, anybody can do it. Come on, you can do it. So, of course a couple people die.
right?
And the lady, the sketchy lady with the long hair.
Yeah, that's the one that was sleeping with Dick Face. I mean, sleeping with
Yeah, I think she was going back. She asked one of the guards could she go to the bathroom. And some kind of way she got a lighter or some type of thing like that.
yeah. She
And
got a lighter
did she
because remember she was
snuck it
smoking
up
in the
her
men's
vagina?
bathrooms.
Did
I
she
don't
put it
know.
up her vagina? She
I
put it
don't.
up somewhere.
Whatever it is, I don't want to be. Never mind. I'm not going there.
Ah, she
If
put
that
it
can fit
somewhere.
there, I don't want to go there. Let's just put it that way.
She put it somewhere. And then she cheated, of course. But they do give
Well,
you this thin needle so you can use it as a
right.
tool to pluck it
But I
out.
wouldn't actually call it cheating
Why not?
because it's more of a strategy type of thing. Because the
Cheating.
guard saw her use it.
Did he really?
I think so. But
Huh.
I would actually call it strategy more than because you're trying to think of a way to cut through it. But although I
Hmm.
have to say the main character's strategy was actually a strategy versus her way. Because remember, he's licking the honeycomb to get the umbrella out of the honeycomb.
Right. He's like, maybe if I moisten this, then it will fall apart.
And he's watching the time go, and then all of a sudden, these other guys are just watching him, and they start doing the same.
Right. They're
And
like,
as this is going on, as they're licking the honeycomb, you see people dying, getting
pow.
shot.
Oh.
It's to be honest with you, I know that we're not supposed to laugh at it, but at the same time, it's kind of ridiculous. It has the same kind of ridiculousness as Tiger King in a sense,
Yes.
but not on that same ridiculousness of Tiger King. If that, but still, we're laughing at it, and then it gets darker as it progresses, just like Tiger King. But
Yes. Yes. Oh gosh. But yeah, I call it cheating because
okay,
she used a lighter, and I think she burnt the tip of the needle, which made it even more sharper and had a cleaner cut so she can cut out the star quicker. She didn't have to suffer like everybody else.
right, and lick the honeycomb over and over again.
But they didn't really say how to get the shape out. So I guess it doesn't matter.
No, as long as you don't cut, as long as it doesn't break, you're in good
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
But if it breaks, you're SOL.
Yes, you will. You are. You
Yeah,
are. Like you get shot in the head.
right. But I like how smooth she was with tracing it, heating it up, and tracing it. And then she gets it to Dick Face, and he winds up doing the same thing. He leaves. Then now it's just the other people. And also, too, I want to say this: is the banker still there, or is he already gone? Because I think he was the first one to be finished as well.
I think he's gone.
Yeah,
I,
he's gone. So it's now
yeah.
up to the licking team to
The licking team.
to lick this honeycomb until they get a good shape out of it. And I like the strategy with it, even though it was going to take a longer time, but they still got the job done.
Yes. Yes. And one guy, he was almost there, but he broke the umbrella.
Right.
And he got fed up, and right when they were about to shoot him, he grabbed the gun. And he's like, I'm sick of this shit. Sick of it. People dying
Only two
around me.
games, and he's tired of it. I would have been
People
done after the
dying
first
around
game.
me. I almost got this umbrella out, this honeycomb. I'm sick of it. Sick.
That's it. I'm stripping. I'm going to be a
Sick of
stripper.
this shit. Sick of it. Sick of it. Come for me. Come for me.
For me.
I shoot your guard. Come for me. And then the guards are like, oh, okay, we'll shoot the rest of these people. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. And then they point the gun on him. He's like, oh crap.
Okay.
I gotta follow through on this plan. Gotta follow through. I shoot him. Take off your mask. Take it off.
Oh.
Let me see your face.
And then of course they
And I was
do, and
confused.
then
That wasn't the detective, right?
no, no. At first I thought it
Oh,
was, but it wasn't.
yeah. Okay.
But they have a rule though. If you unmask yourself, you're supposed to kill that one person because nobody's supposed to know their identities. So therefore, now that person is now dead.
But who? How would they know? I guess the guards themselves can't know who each other are.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. They're not supposed to know who each other are. Matter of fact, that's one of the rules that they have.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, like John says, the guy that took the gun, he's like, "Oh my God, you're just a kid." And he shoots himself, so he takes his own self out the game. And then the leader, he comes down, like John says, nobody's supposed to see your face, and he shoots that guy, the one that's been unmasked. And then it ends there.
Yep.
No happy endings,
No happy
just
endings.
warnings. So
But
so so
the
far, what do
creative,
you think about episodes 1 through 3?
I like them. I think they're good in their own way, in their own storytelling. It makes you wonder what's going to happen next, what the next game is going to be, and that's what you're basically going there for, is wondering what the next game is. And
Mm-hmm.
also too, the character development is also too another thing that you're going there for, because you're seeing these characters progress and change within every episode,
Mm-hmm.
and you're wondering, even when you're, let's say for instance you're at work, you're like, I can't wait to get home so I can spend more time with these characters to see what's going on. And if a show is making you, it sticks with you throughout your work or throughout school or wherever you're at, then it's doing its job. It's doing its job at entertaining, and also too giving you that word of mouth. It's like saying, "Hey, you know what I watched? You know what I binge watched? What I binge watched Squid Game." Next thing
Yeah.
you know, there's other people talking about it. Now, if this show was a total dud, no one would be talking about it. It'd be down in the very bottom of the pit of Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think social media is helping this show along too.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I talked about before, I didn't know anything about this Squid Game because I haven't really been watching Netflix that much. And all of a sudden on my Facebook, I see this chaotic robot, and then I see these memes, and then I see the old man, and I'm like, what is this about? And then everybody's sharing it, and they're like asking the same question, like, what is this about? Squid Games, what's that? And then,
Well,
you know, you just kind of get lured into it through social media.
right. And how I got introduced to it was because of Frenchie.
Of course.
He messaged me at 11 o'clock at night, which
Of
is
course he
rare.
did.
Which is rare that he messages me. He goes, "Dude, you need to check out Squid Game." And this is before the
Do it
memes
in his
even happened.
voice.
Huh?
Do it in his voice.
Dude, you need to see Squid Game.
There you go.
Sorry, Frenchie.
Oh,
You made me.
Canada.
But anyways, because you need to see this game. I'm like, what do you mean? What's Squid Game? I'm telling you, you need to check it out. It's good. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yes, did you watch it yet? Not yet. I'm watching something else for my show. I made a detour. Then finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm caught up on everything I need to do. So I went on and checked it out. Then I messaged him. I'm like, dude, this looks good. So next thing you know, it him and I and Charlie and Sean started watching. Well,
Yeah.
Charlie only watched one episode and bailed out.
Oh no, Charlie.
But Frenchie and Sean at that time watched the whole entire thing. At that time, I only watched 3 episodes, like we're doing now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, 2 episodes. I take that back. I watched 2 episodes, and I didn't watch the third episode until after we were done with the show.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was stuck in the Saw series. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get into this Squid Game, but let me finish Saw first.
You see, for me, I'm actually been trying to binge watch you, and then Rossi wants me to watch this other show for next week, for our review on a certain horror show. And she goes, "Did you watch it yet?" And I said, "I'm at a detour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching you,
Yeah.
not you, but I'm watching the
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
you."
Yeah. Yeah, my supervisor told me about that show. She told me to watch it and
It's good.
Clickbait. If you seen Clickbait,
Nah, I haven't
yeah,
seen
she
it
told
yet.
me to watch that show too.
But you is good. But
Okay.
think of you as like a clumsy version of Dexter, who doesn't really
Oh
plan out his
boy.
stuff right.
Yeah, and I would say Squid Games is like Saw
Right. It
and
definitely is.
something else.
Well, to be honest with you, and this is what I have to say about this, I appreciate the fact that they didn't go all out, because overseas they can go all out with the gore like they need to, like they usually do. But this one,
Mhm,
they reserved themselves to the point where they didn't go overboard with the gore and blood with red light, green light, or anything like that. Even whenever we were playing the honeycomb one, there was not really a lot of blood shed that was like overly done.
mhm.
It was to motivate the plot, and because it was there to motivate the plot, I was okay with it. But it's only little small doses of blood that you actually see.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. And bodies spread out.
Right.
Yeah, don't forget the bodies.
Yeah, a lot of bodies in gift boxes. The
Yes,
same kind of
bodies
gift
and
box
gift.
that the main character's daughter got the gun out of.
I was just about to say there must be some correlation here. So yeah.
Hmm. Squid Game. Now you got my. No, I'm not gonna go that deep. I already went
No.
deep on Gremlins, and I already went deep on the fog. So I'm not gonna.
Well, since the show is ending, tell everybody
Aw,
where they can find you.
you mean it's ending?
Yeah.
I thought you said we were gonna do a 24-hour podcast.
Chuck, please. I am not Taco. Okay.
Okay.
I do not have that much stamina.
Well, damn. Okay. Well, anyways, if since Tamika doesn't want to do a 24-hour one, and I'm not doing one either, but you guys can go in and follow me underneath Movie Lovers Unite on Facebook, Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite, and underneath the same brand name on Instagram and on Pinterest as well. Of course, I also teamed up with Two Blur Girls podcast because of the fact that we decided to do a charity event with St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And because we did that, you guys can go on ahead and get yourself a Sensi. All proceeds go over to the children of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So go on ahead, get yourself a Sensi. It's for a good cause. Support Two Blur Girls podcast and support Children's of St. Jude's Hospital, and also support Movie Lovers, TV Lovers Unite. But of course, you guys can go on ahead and get donate to my page. All you have to do is gofundme.com/movie lovers podcast. And that's where you can go ahead and donate to my page as well. And of course, just go ahead, smash that like button, smash that share button, smash that subscribe button, smash the little bell in the bottom right hand corner, also to help out Two Blur Girls podcast, but also too to help me out on my side of the channel as well. But you guys can go ahead and get an audio only podcast where you guys get your major podcasts at. Then of course go to Goodpods and support us over there as well. And their easy play button is great. It's really easy to follow along with. Also, too, think of Goodpods as like social media for podcasters or someone that likes podcasting.
Mhm.
So rate us over there. It helps us with the Goodpods rankings and stuff like that. And then, of course, you guys can go on ahead and follow me on TikTok as well at Movie Lovers Unit 001. And then, of course, you can go on ahead and follow me on Twitter at Movie Lovers Unit over there. And then, of course, if you're a sponsor or would like to be on the show, just go ahead and reach out to me at movieloversunite@gmail.com. And we are actually sponsored by Manscaped. And I'm not going to go into full detail on that.
Yeah.
You guys can go ahead and jump on that on my channel and figure out what manscaping is. But
Yes.
anyways, that's everywhere you can reach me at. Thank you, Tamika, for having me on. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I have to do my spiel. So anyway, Two Blurred Girls. We are on Facebook at Two Blurred Girls Podcast. We are on Twitter at Blurred Two Girls. We are on Instagram at Two Blurred Girls underscore podcast. YouTube, Two Blurred Girls Podcast. Twitch, Two Blurred Girls Podcast. You notice a theme going on here. That
Mm-hmm.
way you can remember. And we're also audio as well. So we just got on Amazon Music. So that's exciting.
That's
And
awesome.
we're on Apple, we're on Google, we're on Breaker, Goodpods. And we follow John as well. So, we collaborate a lot with John and we follow him, he follows us, etc. We're all friends here. But yeah, so thanks for joining us. That's the show. Thanks, John, from Movie
You're welcome.
Lovers Unite.
Thanks for
Great,
having me.
great podcast. Follow it and listen. And we also did a Halloween Kills review, so check that out too.
Yes, that was an awesome review, by the way. And one more thing,
Hmm.
Charlie and I just did a trailer reaction for Uncharted for neighbors watching
Okay.
trailers.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check that out as well. And also too, we also did 2 video game trailer reactions on our
Nice.
page, which is Gotham Knights, and we also did Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Ooh,
So
nice. Okay.
so we did those reactions, and of course, about 2 weeks ago, I did my Scream reaction video though too by myself. So that's everything. Not really much neighbors. They all moved away because of Ghostface.
Oh, it's okay. I'll try to hop on sometime.
Okay, I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Cool. Well, that's the show. We made it. We got through all 3 episodes. Yay!
Yay!
We'll probably pick back up on Squid Games in November because next Friday is our Halloween show. Me and Tamara's Halloween show. And we're gonna try to dress up and yeah. You'll see all of what's going on with that. So yeah, so that's the show. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Later.